I think there is a general knowledge that plants are good for you. I think that there's still that misunderstanding that plant-based is not like an appropriate diet for anyone. We try to show them we're thriving, our children are thriving. There's many, all the documentaries out there that they could potentially watch. I know they're not doing that. But what we're finding is like there is the health message does resonate with some. The climate message definitely is resonating a little bit better almost than the health message. But when we're talking to legislators, they're really concerned about cost and they're really concerned right now about food waste because that has been such a priority in at least our state. Food waste is getting a lot of airtime. And so we're really trying to navigate that argument with, talking about offering students like a plate where they aren't having to pick and choose items off the plate and throw them away, or making them take a dairy milk and they throw it in the garbage. I mean, and that does happen like all the time. In
That's
fact,
huge, isn't it? The
yes,
amount of milk waste in schools is I used to throw mine out. I always hated milk.
exactly. And many students don't know they aren't required to take a milk, and it is not a law. However, most people think they need to. And a lot of times they're told they need to take a milk by the food service professionals in the cafeterias. And then they say, well, I'm not going to drink it. And they are told, well, just throw it away. I mean, it's basically just like throw it away. But, what signal are we giving in terms of supply and demand if we're just, like telling students, take this thing that you're just throwing in the trash anyway? Like, we're not really telling the markets what students want. Um, so with the food waste argument, we really do talk about like the fact that like creating the plate that is created for a particular student. We're also able to kind of talk about, creating the plate that actually will fit the needs of multiple students. So not just your vegan student, but, your student that has religious desires. There's a lot of religions that won't allow you to eat factory farmed meat at school or won't allow you to combine meat and dairy. So there's a lot of things that we need to think about when we're offering students potentially a religious meal. And while it's not required to offer those, some school districts, because they have a larger population, may offer those types of meals. But plant-based can really, solve that problem and just all of a sudden you're feeding a lot more students. And two, for us, we're a universal meal state, which means every student gets a lunch for free and breakfast for free. And how is this universal if not everyone can take a meal? So if we're providing meals that not everyone can actually access, this is not universal school meals. So that argument is really kind of a gotcha moment a little bit where
Mhm.
they kind of get that as well.
Oh, that is a brilliant argument. It really is. It just covers everybody.
Yeah, it really does.
Kosher, who cares?
Yeah,
It just covers every possible
yeah, it
choice.
does. It really does. It
Yeah.
also can help with the allergen meals as well, because there's a lot of students with dairy and egg allergies.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, especially eggs. Eggs are a really common allergen.
Yep.
So, Judy, are you focused completely on policy work, or are you working with the students as well regarding dairy choices?
So, right now, we are in the education portion of our work. So, we are doing massive community education because, it's interesting. We bring up this topic, and so many people with whom we talk say, number one, I never knew that I could even get soy milk in school through a doctor's note. Others are like, we never even understood that it was an issue.
Mhm.
Others are like, so sickness I'm feeling after drinking milk, I don't really have to put up with that. Um, so yeah, we are reaching out. We have an online petition, and we are just building grassroots and coalition support. But at the same time, we have on the policy side, we have engaged in conversations with legislators, and to date, our conversations have been really positive. But it's more than just the policy. We need our communities to know that you don't have to continue on this trend of dairy milk. You can and should be looking into the health benefits of milk in general. I mean, again, milk is a myth, but as long as that myth of needing it for health is out there, we want to ensure that people have an alternative, that they have options, that they can choose plant-based milks. So part of our education We do it through social media. We do it through one-on-ones with other organizations. We, again, are sitting with legislators, and we also are entering into schools. We have talked with some parents and some counselors and teachers who agree with us. And we worked in a couple schools this last year, and we probably will this coming year, where again, we do our plant-based eating education, and we have, environmental, animal welfare flyers and all these pieces. And then we'll add to that our information on plant-based milks.
I see. So you would kind of embed the milk message into a broader plant-based message when you're
Yeah.
dealing with public education.
Yes, we do both all together. And we also recognize we have run into questions on soy. And so I think we all know there's myths around soy. And so we're also working to address those myths as well.
Yeah, that's the truth. God, like people, it's just unbelievable how people think soy is bad for you and milk is good for you. It's unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Jodi, do plant-based by default policies which promote plants rather than trying to ban animal foods lessen the opposition at all, or are they just as opposed? And who is the main opposition?
So in schools, we don't try for defaults necessarily. We can't, half the time we can't even get a plant-based option. So defaulting that way is just not, I don't think schools are ready for it, or the way that the National School Lunch Program is set up isn't really ready for defaults yet. I would love to see that. And once they understand the research and how powerful it is, and potentially maybe when there is more policy kind of around, you know, all of these issues that we're discussing, they may move in that direction to understand that students will choose these items if they are actually out there. Um, we actually just worked on a policy with Civic Plate through actually APA. I actually had watched the conference last year. They publicized their conference and then put it online, and I watched it, and I heard Alex Cerisi speak, and I was so moved by her words and the things that they were doing that I reached out to her through LinkedIn, and we just kind of met and did a little networking and stuff. And I just said, if there's ever any opportunity to work with you in Minnesota, I would love it. And that's all it took. I mean, they basically kind of came in and worked with me and worked with a few key volunteers. And we've now gotten a default policy put in place in one of our largest counties in Minnesota. So it was something that our leaders here saw from the sustainability perspective, that they wanted to walk the walk completely. So looking at the food that they're serving at their meetings and at their events, while it's not a lot, it kind of sets a precedent. It sends the message out there to what's important to our state and to kind of our sustainable initiatives, and that they really want to, walk the walk.
Is that the Hennepin County initiative?
Yep.
Can you give us a little bit more detail about how that works?
Sure. Basically, it's basically setting up defaults. Basically, now in Hennepin County, at meetings and events that people attend, whether that would be an employee or a person like me who is coming to a Hennepin County event, there will be a default of a plant-based. So I believe it's 2/3 plant-based or half plant-based. And then the rest would be more of your conventional food. The thing that's beautiful about this is it basically is expanding options. It's not taking anything away. It's just expanding what they're serving to make sure that everybody's needs are met. So again, it's that abundance factor, it's expansion, not taking anything away, but it's putting those foods, because we know when we put those first or most forward, people will take them. It's not like they're looking for a particular food. We always choose kind of what's easiest, unless we, have our belief system that's guiding us towards certain foods. So anybody that's a conventional eater is going to see that delicious donut on the plate. They're not going to wonder if it's a vegan donut or if it's a regular donut.